This is a picture of my daughter's cats. I just thought it would be fun to do them. I have never done any animals before. I was always worried that I wouldn't be able to do animals, but when you start looking at them closely, and they have two eyes, they have a nose, they have a mouth just like human beings, and just really it's just about capturing the shape and looking at the marks of the fur. It was just a fun piece to do. The eyes are embroidered by hand, and the nose and the mouth are also done by hand, and the rest is all free machine embroidery. So it's started a new interest where I'm now interested in doing some animals. It reminds me of the Cray brothers. It's like that very famous photograph, isn't it, of them both, where one stands very menacingly in front of the other. I think I might even try and make a card out of this one. I think I was particularly lucky to have this ginger cat to do. I mean, he really is lovely, isn't he? He's so perfect for embroidering, isn't he? He's got all those lovely stripes and colours in him, and it's probably just as well, really. Because this one here, she was actually quite hard. She's really a grey cat, but trying to give that idea of that kind of grey was quite difficult, and this was the best I could do at the time. This is Benji, and Benji's the first dog I've actually tried to do. I thought after doing the cats I'd like to attempt to do a dog, so when I was out in Spain, a friend of mine has a young dog, and I thought I would try and take some pictures of him. And I spent an afternoon taking photographs of him, and he ran around wildly and he wouldn't sit still. And eventually he just flopped down exhausted, and I managed to take some photographs, and this is what I worked from. The original piece is in Spain, and I did try and record it out there, but I didn't have a tripod, and it moved around an awful lot because I had to do it outside, and the birds wouldn't shut up, and I don't think you'd be able to watch that video. So there is a certain amount of colour loss in this picture, and I'm sorry about that. And he was done in exactly the same way as I do anything, really, originally painted out on silk. The eyes and the nose were done by hand. I'm finding, just like you would with humans, you have to really take time over the sort of features, the individual features, and getting the eyes right, getting the expression right, and getting the nose right are very important if you want to catch the character of an animal. The thing I found most interesting were the eyes. I've never really spent time looking into a dog's eye. As you can see, like any dog, he's got those mournful eyes, and I had to spend quite a long time looking at them to try and work out how I was going to do them, because I'm used to doing human eyes, and although there are a lot of similarities, it's all brown, isn't it? And I just had to look at what I could see, and then just working bit by bit, doing what I could see. Eventually looked like the eye, but there were times it just looked really strange. And I just had to work bit by bit, copying all the details as closely as I could to learn to do it. Again, his nose just had sort of lots of little colours and things in there, and I just had to follow what I saw to try and create it. And there are lots of sort of little specks and colours and things in an animal's nose, in a dog's nose, and so this is what I did. I started off with machine embroidery, and did the whole of his body with machine embroidery. That was a base, but this time I went a bit further, and I thought I would try and give the fur a more realistic look. And then I embroidered through the whole of his body by hand using Japanese silk threads, and they're very, very fine. You can split them up into really fine pieces of thread that you can hardly see. And I used those to try and give a more realistic look to the fur. So there was a darker ground in the machine embroidery and then lighter wisps coming through. Because if you look at any animal's fur, it's like that, isn't it? It's got a deeper colour, and then you have these lighter wisps coming through. I really didn't realise it would take me quite so long, but I was determined to try and do it. When I finished the face, I did what I often do now with human faces, and I created a sort of felt skull, which I put behind him, which helped me to kind of, push those little bags under the eyes in a bit, and sort of get that kind of bony sort of nose look around the skull. And unfortunately, it doesn't come up on camera very well, but he is slightly three-dimensional. So the front of the nose comes up a little bit higher than the lower bit, and that's all a little bit higher than the flat surface below. And the reason I'm getting interested in animals is that I would like to eventually do a very large Garden of Eden. I'd like to do a sort of garden with sort of beautiful flowers and plants, and put animals in there too, to sort of just have them peeping through and just in different places, and a sort of combination of between the Tree of Life and the Garden of Eden. And so this is one of my practice start pieces, so I can head towards my ambition of maybe achieving that one day.